New drop, all heat, every track too sick. If they talking top 10, know my name's on the list. Full speed, no brakes, every turn too slick. If they checking my setup, know the build too rich. No plan, no script.
What's up, y'all? It's Open Time Vibes here, and I'm Jams. The show where we talk about conspiracies, spirituality, global tensions, and so forth. And as today you'll see, it's going to be a single episode. I don't have Zach here with me. I believe he was doing something with his wife, so it's going to be me today. I've been feeling pretty bad today. Been sick. Somehow can't keep food down, but gotta push through, keep it going. But I would like to open up in today's subject with just hitting the basics. We're going to talk about, what's going on in Iran. I mean, I know I don't think we should be at war right now, but it's our politicians. I got some articles I can pull up for y'all. So I'm sorry if I sound terrible or anything like that. So it says, as of March 31st, 2026, President Trump stated that the U.S. military campaign in Iran could conclude in 2 to 3 weeks, aiming to exit regardless of a formal deal. Intense strikes continue, hitting infrastructure in Isfahan. I'm sorry, I don't know the language. It's hard to pronounce. And targeting shipping, while Iran rejects a ceasefire, demanding a permanent end to fighting. That's what we all want, to be honest here. Key updates. Military action. U.S. Israeli strikes are targeting Iran air defenses, steel plants, and infrastructure in Isfahan. Iran drone attacks and selective blockades on the Strait of Hormuz continue, causing oil market instability. And if y'all been keeping up with everything, that is true. We are having a very bad problem with gas right now. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I drive a Corolla, so it doesn't hold a lot of gas. I think the car only holds like maybe 10 to 11 gallons. It's cost me like $35-$40 to fill up. Like, why? Hush, buddy. Hey. My wife just walked out the door, so now he thinks someone's here. Hush. You okay, Ollie? Conflict timeline. Trump noted U.S. operations could end within 2 to 3 weeks as he aims to prevent Iran from developing nuclear weapons. That's what we're all hoping don't happen. We don't need Iran with nuclear weapons. Diplomacy. Iran started... Oh, no. Sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm still sick. I'm trying to get through this. Iran stated it has not accepted a ceasefire proposal, only a permanent end to hostilities, and confirmed indirect communications with Washington, Washington, China, and Pakistan proposed a 5-point peace plan. Casualties and impact: over 1,500 civilians, including 236 children, have been reported killed in Iran since the conflict started, and according to human rights activist news agency HRANA. Regional instability. A U.S. journalist was kidnapped in Baghdad with suspicions of Iran-backed militia involvement. This from the New York Times. So yeah, we still got, deals trying to get worked out, but I honestly don't know how it's gonna favor, because this is all a game to them. Like, y'all gotta think, these politicians, the way they move money and the way they pass laws, and they're only doing it for their own gain. If you believe that these politicians really care about us, and want to help us, why haven't they? Let's be honest, y'all. What have they really done? So far, gas is just going up. We're getting into a war that we said we wouldn't get into. It's really just starting to look like the Bible its prophecies are starting to come true. Just, with the Euphrates River drying up, that's slowly been drying up. the tensions going out with the Middle East right now, Israel and Iran. I mean, we don't even talk about the other countries around there. And I'm not educated enough to really say what's going on around those countries, but I just feel like it's tension everywhere. We're putting our nose in stuff we shouldn't really be in. But I feel like Israel's got us, right? Something like, why are we getting into a war for another country? I'm just asking the honest questions here. But we're not getting honest answers. That's the problem. I'm trying to see if I can find any more on Iran. I want to see if I can pull up like a video for y'all because I'm butchering these freaking words right now. I'm trying to find a trusted source right here. I got the BBC. I mean, BBC is a pretty trusted source. Yep. Here's a little video for y'all I can play. Make sure that'll actually play. Hold on.
This whole war situation is
Let me
just
see.
causing everything to go up. It's absolutely dumb. I don't know why we're even over there.
The
Okay,
war that
apparently.
is happening is
Hold on.
doing a huge impact.
We don't have
I'm
nothing
not
to do with
picking up
that, so
sound.
we're facing the repercussions of that.
It's come to the point where individuals are not able to afford anymore. You know, it's the cost of living. You know, it's unbelievable.
That's weird.
It's not right. Something needs to be done.
I will say.
Well, I'm sorry, y'all. I was trying to have a video pulled up for y'all. I'm having a little bit of audio issues, apparently. It's supposed to be playing through the dock, but I'm not getting any sound. This is what I'm confused about.
Every time I'm pulling up to a gas station now, it's a little bit of a hesitation to like know that like it's gonna cost a bit more than it did, you know, before.
I don't know if that's playing on y'all's end. No, it's not. All right, we'll keep going. Having audio issues. Today's just been a day, y'all. It's been a long, dumb day, but you know we got to be blessed for it, because you know not everybody woke up this morning, and that's how I try to look at everything with a different perspective. I'm blessed I'm not going to war right now. I'm hoping I don't have to. But I know a whole bunch of other people are being forced to go to war. It sucks. And they're stronger than I am. I'm sorry, y'all. I've never done one by myself, so it's hard. I'm trying to keep things rolling and find out information. So it says there's live updates right now on CBS News. Trump says Iran war obviously can wrap up in 2 to 3 weeks, but it's not happening, I don't think. Gas price over $4 a gallon. Yep. And I know I only live in Alabama, so I can't imagine if y'all live in different states like California. I know that the gas is insane over there. What to know about the Iran war today? We already talked about this. After Mr. Trump renewed his threat to attack Iran's civilian energy and water infrastructure if no deal is reached to end the war, Iran state media said a water desalination plant on the island near the Strait of Hormuz is out of commission after being hit. Okay. Energy markets continue to convulse over uncertainty about the war, sending the average price of a gallon of gas in the U.S. to over $4 for the first time in almost 4 years, as a massive tanker loaded with crude was hit by an Iranian drone off Dubai's coast. So, like, is that the reason why gas is going up, or is it because they're, like, blocking the Strait of Hormuz? I'm trying to figure this out. The American journalist Shelley Kittleson was kidnapped in Baghdad. A State Department official said the person linked to the Iran-backed militia group Kataib Sobola. I'm sorry, I'm butchering this. Is believed to have been involved. Oh yeah, and don't forget. Okay.
We will shoot them down.
A new warning today from Iran. Its Revolutionary Guard Corps is
Jeffrey Epstein. That's still... If anybody's ever been hearing about this Palm Beach Pete, I don't know if we brought it up yet. I think we might have brought it up on a podcast. But, man, it's starting to seem more suspicious that man is not who he says he is. At least from some of the things I've been seeing on Instagram and people trying to show proof, like finding when an account was made or how long this account's been open. It was made like this year. At least that's what people are saying. So it wouldn't make any sense. Like, you would think you would have a social media, and I believe people have found his real name, and people aren't like seeing it track. I'm about to look it up. I've seen a bunch of videos of saying that they aren't tracking, like his story just isn't tracking. Palm Beach Pete here. But I just don't know how to really look it up. Palm Beach Pete. Who is he? Because he just came out of nowhere. Palm Beach Pete is a South Florida man who went viral March 2026. This month. Due to his striking physical resemblance to the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Who he is a retired commercial real estate executive and a former Division I tennis player. Not the disgraced financier who was found dead in 2019. How he went viral, a video filmed by a passerby of him driving his convertible on I-95 in South Florida, was shared on social media featuring a caption, "Epstein is alive." His response, Pete has embraced his newfound infamy. Infamy? Dude, I cannot speak. Creating an Instagram account, @NotEpstein, to clarify he is not Epstein while enjoying the attention. See, that's the real question. Did he not ever have like any social media before this whole incident? Because that's fishy. Like, really? He's got to have like a Facebook or something. So it says he made the account. So I'm guessing he made the account this year, which is why we can't track it back any farther. But he named it Not Epstein. Okay. Connection to Epstein. While he strongly denies being Epstein, Pete told reporters he actually saw Epstein at a party years ago and considered him a creepy guy. Yeah. I don't know, man. It just seems kind of fishy. And they're probably just, like, let's be honest. What if this guy is Epstein? What do we do? See, that's a scenario I like to think about. Let's say this is Epstein. All right. Now, I don't know how we're going to prove it. This is just, theoretical. Conspiracy. If he comes out and says that he is Jeffrey Epstein, but the government just denies and said, no, Jeffrey Epstein died. He killed himself 2019. What do we do? We're literally fighting our own government. Like, our government is not against us anymore. And I've been looking in some old law books, or at least like the Declaration of Independence. If you look at it, it literally said like when tyranny like this happens and the states lose their power, that the people have the power. And it's people's job to tell the government that's enough. It's been a slow trickle. Look, I'm not no politician. So I guess take what I say with a grain of salt. I would just say do your own research because that's what I have to do. But literally, like, they slowly been taking so much power out of the states. And in the Declaration of Independence, I can't speak. It literally talks all the time about how the power's in the people, and if something were to get unorganized, the people can have the power to change that. And I think we've been slowly losing that power. And that's just what's been going on. And, the COVID thing happened. We were able to be locked down. They're going to tell us what to do. They told us a vaccine. Boom, take the vaccine. You know, even though it was made in a couple months, you know. It was tested, though. We all got it. Well, not everybody got it. For those who didn't get it, great. Good job. I got forced to take it because of work. And then, like, I don't know if it's y'all, but 6 years? It's been 6 years since COVID. It's just crazy how time just keeps moving. And it's not like, and we can't get anything done in our government. I think that's just what irks me. Because I know the people, a lot of people think like me and agree. Like a lot of people think this way, like, and want to make a change. But we just don't know how to start. And it's hard. I've tried, you know, trying to, like, ignorance is bliss. People really say ignorance is bliss. It's true. Because when you don't know what's going on and, like, the way the government's moving and hiding things, it's, you don't have to think about it and you really don't care. But when you're all in to stuff like this and, you know, want to find answers, you know, I'm now a newly father, so I'm trying to be more cautious about what my government's doing. I want to know, like, what they're putting in shit, the pesticides and everything, because, you know, my kids and the vaccines, now I'm going to have to, like, I have to make a choice if I vaccinate my child and stuff. So it's like a big deal because I don't know if I can. I don't know if I will vaccinate. Like, and that's the thing. Because there's evidence saying that, yes, it helps. And there's evidence saying that people that haven't been vaccinated have 100% more healthy. Like, at what point, like, which study is wrong? And that's the problem. Government and conquer. What did I just say? Divide and conquer. Government, that's what they do. Divide and conquer. Get us against each other. Either with races or it could be race. It could be political ideology. It could be anything. They get us to fight over our favorite colors. Like if you don't agree with my color, then I have to beat your ass. Like, when did things turn into that? And it could be, you know, a lot of it just being social media, because I am seeing a shit ton of crazy stuff on social media, including like Instagram and like Scoops, if y'all know what that is. Scoops is literally just an unadulterated app. Whatever goes on there. And I guess that's why we all feel so uneasy. Even if I don't see anything in Alabama, and especially not none of the things I'm seeing on Instagram or any of the protests or riots. So it's like this phantomness. Like, I know what's happening, but I'm not seeing it happen. So, but I feel the change. Like, I'm feeling the tension, if you'll understand. It's like all these people, you know, are making a stand and standing up for stuff. And, you know, there hasn't been a movement here, at least. And I would stand for some of this. Like, I do want to stand up to my government because I don't think it's right what they're doing. But then again, I could also lose my life trying to stop what they're doing, you know? But we can't be afraid of that. Like, we should die for a cause. That's the whole point. You got to die for your cause. And that's why the Islamic State has never failed. Because you can't kill an ideology. Their kids or uncles, nephews, you kill one of them and they'll pick up arms for each other. They have that pride. But I don't know if we have that pride, you know. I think some people definitely do, especially our military members, you know. I mean, we're blessed to have such a great military. But I also wonder what happens if the government really just tries to turn the military on us? I wonder, the military should stand up for the civilians. At least I would believe so. I would believe the military would fight back against the government. At least I hope they would. Like, I've been watching the RoboCop series, and man, if y'all have ever watched RoboCop, y'all would understand. It's kind of similar what we got going on, I guess. Like, it's really close to kind of what we got. It's not like OCP trying to buy out everything, but, or at least make their own city, but it feels like that. Did not Trump say something about building something at Gaza after destroying it? Like, the whole series of RoboCop is They made this super ultra cop to be able to protect the city and get things done. But OCP owns him, and they're all about the money. They don't care how many people gotta die. In the third RoboCop, they're now ripping people out of their homes. Kind of what's happening now with the illegals, at least. They're ripping people out of their homes, but these aren't illegals. In the movie, they're just ripping people out of their homes, throwing them on buses, putting them in rehab centers. The problem with that is they're not just being moved to like a rehab center. They're all just getting slaughtered. They're just taking them out of their homes, killing them, and then they're just going to build where their home was. Like, they just take over the land. When are they going to start doing that to us, man? And if it ever starts, man, we got to do something about it. I guess I'm just going all over the place. This is a single podcast, so I'm going to be jumping everywhere. So I hope you'll love that ADHD mind. Because I was also going to touch up on AI too, because you think we're safe from that? What's going to kill us, the government or AI? I mean, we don't know anymore. The government's the one that's saying that we shouldn't have the AI. No, what is it? Don't hold it back. They just want to go full in. So don't limit the AI. I feel like that's going to be a problem, though. Well, with at least what Zach's been working on, he's been working on actually building a local AI model into an old phone, and I think he has accomplished it. Now, I have no knowledge of how to do any of this. He explains it to me the best way possible, and I try to understand it in simpler terms. But he was able to get the AI built into the phone to where I don't think he needs Wi-Fi. It can just answer based on all the information it already has on that device. And that's where I think a lot of people don't understand AI, so I guess I'm going to try and explain it. I'm definitely not the person to try and explain it, but I'm going to try and explain it, at least in my way. So, we've had AI for a while. We've had it since like 2012. But it's mixing AI with other things like programs is what makes AI so good. So AI itself is totally different from a language model, a large language LLM. But when you take that LLM and you put AI on that LLM, that large language model, the AI basically acts as the brain and uses the LLM to communicate. I guess that makes sense. So basically the LLM has a whole bunch of words and all that for it to learn and to use to spit out to answer with. So that's like its dictionary to pull from. So when you're asking the AI bot, hey, I had to ask you something, blank, blank, well, yada, yada. That AI goes to the LLM and it chooses whatever, picks out what words matches or answers your best question. And then AI gives it to you. It's just using the LLM to answer whatever you need answered. I guess in simple terms. Now, let's see, that changes when AIs do different things, like instead of like a ChatGPT where it's just answering questions, or you want to do pictures. Because I believe ChatGPT can do pictures and all that too. And it just gets a little bit more complicated with pictures. I have no idea how they generate pictures. I'm guessing it's the same thing as adding an LLM, but it's not an LLM. It would have to be something with picturing, like graphics, creating graphics. So it can use that program to create what you said to make. So it's weird. It's like AI, it's hard to explain because I don't think AI is conscious, but I think it is a consciousness in a way. Not like our consciousness to where we can pretty much, we know we're human, we know we die, we pretty much know our surroundings. I think AI in a way, it's like a synthetic consciousness, or at least it believes it has to answer questions in a way. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I'm not no AI technologist. I'm probably butchering it. I'm probably 100% wrong. But this is just what I know, at least what me and Zach have been playing with. I also got a a page pulled up. It's advancements in AI technology. I guess what they've been having some breakthroughs and everything. But I was just going to finish my thought. Yeah. But he's created 3 AI bots, and they're all different personalities. Kind of like RoboCop. He has different directives. So he has 3 different chatbots. He has a Jarvis, he has a Friday, and an Ultron. And you can probably guess what, personality Ultron has. Ultron is obviously, he hates humans, he hates humanity and all that. And he coded it to act that way. I can make Ultron nice, or he could make Ultron nice, Zach. It's just all code. It's literally 1 zeros and numeral. It's like, and if you know code and you're a coder, I praise you because you know way more than I do. I haven't even touched it yet, but Zach's been down and deep into it. I would love to get into it. Probably should so I can understand more. But basically, the question that we've been trying to answer, at least ask, is like the imaginations of AIs when they ask an AI something and it gives them something totally weird, like it wasn't coded to do. That's what we're trying to break down. Like, when you code an AI, you were coding it with all of its commands. You're telling it to do this if this, to do this if this. If you can't do this, then do this. You're double backing that system. So if you ask an answer that it can't answer, it's going to try its best to find an answer. And sometimes when an AI doesn't know the answer, it will make up an answer because it doesn't have the answer. But you can make it to where the AI doesn't answer if he doesn't have the answer. If you'll know what I'm saying. You can make it to where ChatGPT won't answer something, or it'll tell you, I really don't have the information for this. But they just don't. It'll make it up, which is weird. So I guess the question in code, like with AI, is what in the code is making it just act out? Because if you're coding it saying, answer honestly, right? You give it 3 different directives. I want you to answer honestly. I want you to come up with proof. And what's the last one? Don't yap. Don't try to be talkative. But then it gives you what you wanted, but it's too long. It's talkative. Okay, well, I said you not to make it so long. Can you shorten it? Okay, no, it didn't. So why isn't it? That's the question. Why isn't it doing it if it's coded to do that job? Like, it has a specific function in the code saying to do it, but it's not doing it, or at least it does it, but 1 out of every 100 times it won't do it. So what's the reason behind that? And so me and Zach are still trying to figure that out. It's like it burns your brain. It don't make sense because if it's not in the code, then how does it make the code? Then how does it do it? If it's not in the code, then why is it still doing it? Like, it makes no sense. Like, you're asking an AI a question, right? Or at least like the when they asked it to make a picture of Nazis or something like that, and they made it like ethnically, like they had some black Nazis, they had some Asian Nazis. Obviously that wouldn't be a thing. It was strictly, a whitest Nazi supreme country. So why would it make that up? And that's with code. I don't think it made it up. I think it was following its code to be more inclusive, which is why it put, biracial Nazis and all that. So AI is going to do what you're coding it to do, but when it doesn't do what you coded it to do, why is the big question. And that's really the fear with AI, is it's unpredictable. Because if it can do something when it's not being coded to do, it doesn't make any sense. And that's the big problem. At least I don't understand it. I would like to ask an AI expert, how is it just making up an answer when it's not coded to do that? Moving on. And I finished my statement. This is the advancements in it. So AI technology advancements are accelerating rapidly, focusing on genetic workflows, multimodal capabilities, and energy efficiency. Key breakthroughs include Gemini 2.0. Okay. Improved video generation. VO2 imaging 3. And AI-driven specific or scientific discovery in material science. Models are becoming more autonomous, capable of complex research, and efficient via techniques like ternary parameters. Holy crap. Tyranny? Tertiary parameters? I don't even know. I'm not smart enough to read these words. And genetic AI and reasoning. AI is moving from chatbots to agents that execute multi-step tasks such as Google Deep Research. In Gemini Advanced, these systems can plan, browse, and generate high-quality code in research. That's a problem. Multimodal models. Sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Advancements in AI that understand and generate text, images, video, and audio simultaneously are leading to better human-computer interaction. Okay, I can see how that makes sense. Also, another sidestep. I don't know if y'all have been seeing this, but I have seen this one guy that got like a Neuralink, and he's like really happy to have one. And he thinks it's going to be the future of humanity, the way that he can just communicate with devices freely. I do think it's crazy, but I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. I can't. AI for science and sustainability. AI is accelerating scientific discoveries such as identifying new materials for batteries, simulating molecular behaviors to reduce chemical waste, and creating sustainable packaging solutions. See, that's a good one. I think we should get rid of a lot of the plastic. Honestly, I think we should recycle all the plastic, trying to get to oil. Since we're apparently bad. We're down bad on oil right now. Why don't we just take all the plastic and turn it into oil? Sounds like a great idea. No, it's too much. Why? I don't know. Efficiency in hardware. To combat high energy consumption, new models like BitNet use ternary parameters. That's how I'm going to say it. Probably butchering it. To reduce power usage while neuromorphic computing seeks to emulate brain-like energy efficiency. See, like, what does that even mean? To reduce power usage while neuromorphic computing seeks to emulate brain-like energy efficiency. Man, they're creating synthetic humans now. If y'all didn't believe in clones, believe in them now. I'm playing. The cloning is probably real, though. I mean, if we're bringing back red wolves or like extinct animals like the woolly mouse, if y'all heard of that, man, we've been duplicating humans for a while. At least that's what I believe. If we can do something like that, like bring something that's extinct back, what makes you think you can't just take a blood sample from somebody that died, or at least saved at least a skin sample or a blood sample or any kind of sample of that human? I'm pretty sure they can just create it again. But the problem is it going to be the exact same human, like brain-wise and everything? Like, is that clone going to have to, like... I don't know, man. I'm just going to hurt myself. Keep going down these paths. Key industrial applications. Healthcare. AI enables 99% accuracy in mammogram interpretation and helps with complex diagnosis. I do agree with that. I do agree with AI's reading certain, scans and stuff like that, because I do believe AI can just break down the numbers better, or at least see things, abnormalities, easier than humans, because we have errors. Sorry, I'm thirsty. I am parched right now because I haven't eaten today, but we keep pushing through. robotics. Social robots like Carmen are being used for personalized cognitive rehabilitation, supporting Alzheimer patients. Um, Autonomous systems, advanced algorithms are enhancing vehicle safety, enabling self-driving capabilities. I mean, these are all great, I guess, for humanity. Moving on, research breakthroughs 24 and 25. So this is like the year 24, 25. So massive leaps and benchmarks, MMMU, GPQA, SWE, dash bench, indicating AI is approaching human level performance in specific complex tasks like programming. In a way, I don't. Okay, I can talk about this a little bit. Complex tasks like programming. I think if you are a programmer or a coder, I still think you have a job right now because I don't think AI is very good at it. Yes, AI can code, but to 100% efficiency is the question. So ChatGPT, we've had ChatGPT make us mods and try to code games for us. A game being GTA 5. So we were able to get ChatGPT to make the code and do what I had to do. Like we had to describe what kind of mod we wanted or what the mod did, and ChatGPT pretty much coded it to where it was playable. And they all worked. So it's like some of them worked. Not all of them, but some of them did work. They do have issues. So that's why I'm saying ChatGPT, it's not 100% always right on code and helping you code, but it can be. You just have to train it to be like really good at it. You gotta double check it. You can't just blindly trust it. But one person you can blindly trust is Jesus. And I think that's what we're going to get into next. But yeah, about Jesus. So for those who aren't religious and all that, you can just, just don't even believe a thing I say. That's fine. I'm okay with it. I've been trying to get closer to God, and it's been a struggle. They say being a Christian is easy, but it's really not. I go through my own battles like everybody else, and even if you're not a Christian, you go through battles. Everybody goes through battles. It's about getting through that battle and coming out on the other side, as a better person, not a worse. If you know what I'm saying. I don't know what's been going on with me today. I haven't been able to eat. Been throwing up all morning. Had to call out of work. I still haven't ate yet. Don't know why. I feel hungry, but I don't feel like I can eat, if y'all understand. But the Bible says the men don't live off of food alone, but off of the word of God. So I try to spread the gospel as much as I can, but I am not a perfect Christian. I am also nervous to, just approach people and be like, hey, have you heard God's word? Have you heard the good news? It's hard for some people to do that, especially anxiety, social anxiety and all that. But I think you can do it. I believe in you. I think everybody needs to find at least their rightful place, like find their gods, or at least find their find your spiritual peace. I don't know what this world's gonna bring. I don't know how crazy it's gonna get, y'all. But one thing is for sure is I know my God got me. And I try to pray to him as much as I can, and I'm not a perfect example of a Christian at all. I sin and I fall and I make mistakes. But we all do. But the one person who didn't was Jesus. The one man who was sinless, never sinned, and died for us to have eternal life. I can't be any more blessed knowing that my God came back to earth, died for me, just so I could have a way to communicate with my Creator. It's a hard one to swallow. And a lot of people thinking to themselves, I'm not worthy enough to talk to God. I'm not, you know, I haven't been a good Christian. You know, he probably doesn't even care about me. He doesn't love me as much as he used to, because you know how I've been acting. I promise you, he loves you infinitely, no matter what sins you've done. Now, that doesn't mean take his love for granted. Oh, I can sin because I know he still loves me. He'll forgive me. But just know that you have grace, but don't take it for granted. And then don't abuse the grace you're given, you know? It's hard to accept grace. I heard a video about this. It's hard to accept grace because you feel like you have to do something to be accepted. But the problem is you can't do anything in this world that will make you good enough to get into heaven. Like, it's already set in stone. Like, do the good works. I believe in all that. But I also don't think the works is what gets you into heaven. It's about God said be fruitful. You know? And honestly, if you want to get into heaven and, you know, have eternal life, accept Jesus Christ, the Lord and Savior. I'm not saying when you do, it's going to be an easy fight. But it has brought me peace, and I want to try and, you know, spread it a little bit more. At least to some of the people who aren't hearing the good word or the good news. And like I say on every podcast, y'all can reach out. And it's on Instagram, Open Time Vibes. We got a YouTube. If y'all ever want to come out here or hop on the podcast or even have a talk about religion, spirituality, I would love to try and communicate with y'all and do that. I'm just a young soul, you know, wandering in this world, trying to do the best I can. You know, none of us are perfect, but we try to be, we strive to be. You know, can't please everybody. You can try, but you can't. And honestly, man, I try to be loving to everybody. Even though I don't act like it, I try to be. Like, you don't lose nothing out of being nice, you know, just being nice. And I get it. You lose your temper. Not everybody's perfect, you know. Sometimes I just get angry. You know, I'm tired of it. I'm in pain. But it's for a reason. You know, God doesn't give us our battles if he didn't know that we couldn't handle them. So, and the battle I guess we're going through right now is a spiritual one. At least while these wars going on and the way that the government's running things, and it just feels like the USA is slowly falling to like some kind of satanic movement. Now, I don't think our citizens are part of the satanic movement in a way. But when I say the people of the United States, I'm talking about citizens, people that, you know, just everyday people trying to make a living, trying to get by, you know, support their family and everything like that. I'm not talking about the rich people. I'm not talking about the rich, you know, billionaires, millionaires, you know. Once you have that kind of status, I feel like you have to be part of something bigger. I'm not saying all rich people are corrupt, but I'm saying money does corrupt people. And I think with all the things going on, it's all just a war on money, you know. The whole reason we're in this war with Iran was because Israel said to do it, and if we didn't, then what? You know? And I know people had been saying, you know, Trump looked like he's getting his back, you know, he's starting to stand up for himself, but all these politicians are in cahoots with each other, man. I think the Democrats are on the same team as the Republicans. I just think for the people, they pretend to be two parties. I think they're just one party. I think they all would love to work together. I think they all have one common goal. But the problem is they want us divided, so they have to have two parties. A great idea I had was... Dude, I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. A great idea I had was maybe doing a one-party system. Now, that doesn't mean it's a Republican Party. Doesn't mean it's a Democrat Party. Well, why don't we just leave it blank? These are our politicians to choose from. They're not Republican, they're not Democrat, they're not liberal. Like, I think the problem is the labels. We're labeling everything. And when you conform to that label, it's like people, It's kind of like flat earthers. You treat it like a religion. You shouldn't treat like a politician like a religion. You shouldn't be idolizing anybody. I can agree with certain people. Like, the reason you vote for that person is because his policies stand out more to you. Like, you believe in those policies more. That's how we should be really voting. If he says he's going to drop gas prices, I agree. I think we need gas prices to drop because look at gas prices. And then the next contestant. Well, I think we should expand territory. I think we need get bigger, expand. Nah, I don't really agree with that. I think we're pretty cool the way we going. I don't like that. Like, it's support the people you most likely agree with. And it's just become so confusing in this world. Like, I wish we could all be peaceful. But not everybody's peaceful, everybody's going through things. So, like, that's why I try to be nice to everybody. Like say, like, your mama died today, right? Now, no one knows that. No one knows your mom died today. But you do. Now, the problem is, what are you going to do if somebody makes a your mama joke to you? You're probably going to lose your shit. You're probably going to be mad. Probably going to do something to him. But he didn't know. Like, he didn't know. So how can you be mad at him for not knowing, Or like, and then it would go both ways around. Why would you say your mama joke when you didn't even like know what's going on? Like, you don't know what anybody's going through. That person that you flipped off in traffic could have been his last straw, and he probably killed himself. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of every possibility. I know I was suicidal at one point in my life. I was very young. Probably had some demons trying to get in my head. I'm glad I'm delivered now. I'm no longer suicidal. I'm great. I have a family now. I have a wife. I have a kid on the way. I have a car that can get me to work. I'm blessed for everything I have. I should be content. And I think that's what a lot of people in this world, they strive for so much. When you should really just be content. At least try to be more content with what you got. Because, like, perspective is the killer. Or not the killer. Perspective is what helps. Because if you're always comparing yourself to someone that's doing better than you, then you're never going to feel like you're in a content place. And shouldn't be comparing yourself to anybody anyway. Like, if I always compared myself to freaking Elon Musk, man, I'm never going to amount to having that much money. So I don't compare. It's not about that. It's about having perspective. I try to have a perspective that, there's someone in this world right now that don't have a house. Someone in this world that's homeless right now. Don't have a family. Don't have a place to stay. Probably doesn't even know how he's going to get his next meal in the morning. And I try not to take this for granted. Because I know it's easy to take for granted. I got it, so what? It's just trying to hold on to this little life, and try not to take things for granted is a hard thing to do. Because everybody feels like, or at least like when you're looking on social media and everything, everybody's doing better than you. And that's the killer of happiness right there, is you think that you're doing bad, but you're not. You're doing great. Keep going. You're comparing yourself. How about you should put yourself in someone else's shoes? Or at least don't compare yourself to someone doing better than you, but compare yourself to someone in Africa that don't have a house. Or, homeless people. Like, someone's got it worse than you. That's something I always try to think, that someone's going through it way worse than me. Okay, yeah, I'm sick. I don't feel good today and I haven't ate. But I bet that there's probably someone around this world that just got their legs cut off and won't be able to walk. Won't be able to work no more. And they just got to accept it and have to move on and power through to try to support their family. I'm not having my legs cut off or lost. But yeah, I still feel like I have a right to complain, and I don't. Perspective, man. It can really help you change and see things differently. At least that's what I'm trying to do. You know, I'm just praying that our God delivers us, you know, protects us from whatever is about to come or to what is coming. Because none of us know what's coming, but I just want to be safe and protected through it. You know, live our lives in peace and love each other in peace. I wish we could have world peace. World peace. But I don't think that's going to happen until, you know, Jesus comes back again. Because right now, this world is the devil's right now. The devil has control of this world, and it's hard to be a Christian and be a good person in this kind of world that just always wants you to lash out, be angry. That's what I'm going to try to work on. I'm going to try to be more grateful, more blessed. Try to appreciate things I have. Because you don't know. We could be going into nuclear war in the next 2 months, but I don't know. I'm just don't shut up. Don't be scared. Don't be fear-mongered by me. I just throw things up out of everywhere. I'm literally, bing, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm literally thinking what could happen or what couldn't happen, what happens if this happens. Try to overanalyze everything. But I think that's where I'm going to end up this episode. We broke down some Iran. We broke down technology. We talked about a little bit of Palm Beach Pete. And we definitely, one of the most important things we talked about is faith, man. Have faith. I think we're going to get through this. It's going to be a long road, but I think we stick together as civilians and people. We can unite, man. We can do this. So if y'all ever want to reach out to the channel, Open Time Vibes on Instagram, YouTube, would love to hear from y'all. Just DM us. And I hope y'all have a blessed one. And I love y'all. Y'all stay safe. For sure. Peace.
Coming back in with a different flow on my bow, yeah. Y'all already know, huh? I can't chase no hoe, no. I ain't sucking toes, no. Can't be distracted by outside drama, I'm opposed. They think they can stop me cause they think that I am alone. Can't